This is Life Strategies with Monique.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Life Strategies with Monique. I'm your host, Monique Petaway, and I have with me a special guest by the name of Chamera Bowman. Chamera is a transformational coach, health and life strategist, also a best-selling author, global leader, mentor, and founder and CEO of Triple H Life. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but she does all of that and more. She is, and she also has Commit to Your Passion organization. She is a firm believer that true prosperity starts with the good we do in the world through our gifts. Chamera, welcome to the show.
Got me over here smiling. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's who you are. So because my audience doesn't know who you are, so why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background so our listeners will know a little bit about you and where you're from.
I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. Born and raised. I'm on the beach, water, beach bum, you name it.
I love the sound.
Yes. My background basically, like I said, I'm from Florida. You want to start at, with the background,
You can start wherever.
What we want to do.
As the kids would say, you're doing the most.
I'm doing the most. Doing in the box.
You're doing the most. So let's start with how you ended up in the field of becoming a transformational coach. Because when we talk transformation, we're talking literally about total change. Going from one point to another point. So let's start there. Let's talk about why you ended up in the industry of becoming a transformational coach, and let's start with the backstory, to find out how you ended up in this field.
I ended up serving in the community of helping others because I was once in a place where I needed my own help. I lost myself. I was actually in real estate for 14 years. Out of real estate, at a stage, making good money and millionaire. I mean, it was good. I was young while I was doing it. And of course we all fall down in so places. So from there, I failed. And when I say I failed in life. I was broken. I was broke. I was grieving and didn't know that I was still grieving. I lost my little brother at a young age. I lost a lot of loved ones, the ones that meant a lot to me, that was actually keeping me together. So I was devastated. And from then, it caused trauma in my life. At a lot of times, we walk around with the weight on our shoulders and we don't even know it's there. We have it. So from then, I caught myself losing my house, losing everything and putting everything out on the road. And I was down on my knees, and I remember this day I was down on my knees and I just asked, just help me. Just help me. Just show me the way so that I can show others that it's possible, that they're capable too. And I went and I got my own coach. Didn't know anything about coaching. I went and got my own coach. Mentally, I was distraught, and I got my own health coach, and that's how I ended up becoming a coach. But from there, my story, my transformation started from then, getting help and putting forth that effort. And I never turned back. I let go, got clarity on what I needed, where I was, and my awareness went into effect, and it was only right for me to give back, and that's what I'm doing today.
And so talk a little bit more about the health and the life strategist part, because you say you were broken, you hit rock bottom and you felt like you failed. And I know there are a lot of women out there today who literally feel like that right now at this moment. They feel like they're just broken, they're hurting, and they don't know what to do. So talk about what it means to do health and life have a health and life strategist in their life, what they do and how that helps them.
What we do is we help people cultivate new habits and lifestyle changes by getting clarity in their lives towards their vision, and actually getting rid of the clutter. I call it clutter because we put on so much. It's like you're suppressing so much throughout your life from your childhood, and as you grow, you end up with those same habits, those same belief systems, and you end up sabotaging yourself from your own growth or developing the person who you're truly, supposed to be in the world. So what I do is I help shift them. I don't do it. I help them do it because you're going to do it yourself. So I help them shift their mindset towards purposeful growth, so that they can and that's how they pretty much find themselves in a better place, in a mindset, and just decluttering. I mean, when I say declutter, I call it dust. You're cleaning your house up, this dust. Get rid of all that dust. Get rid of all that toxic people. Those relationships that don't mean you no good. There's anything that you can think that is holding you back at that moment. We process and we take care of that so that it's aware that you are aware of it, because we get blind. We get blind and we're very emotional. And that sabotages us. It hinders us from growing, from our own internal growth. And we forget about our own power internally. And that's what's going to make us move.
Mm-hmm. So you talk about doing that or helping individuals be able to do that. What about for you? When it came to figuring out what you wanted to do, and I know you say you got a coach, what was that literal defining moment that actually gave you the clarity that said, you know what, this is what I want to do?
That defining moment was when I was outside of my house on my knees on that concrete, and just looking back on what I had, because what I had, I didn't have anymore. So what I had, and I felt that I didn't even belong there. Like whatever I had, I didn't even feel like I deserved it, because it wasn't me. And I know, we know our hearts, we know what we are, but at times we don't know how to put it out in the world or put it out with ourselves. So me on the knees on my concrete, that's what made me say I had to do something different and ask for forgiveness. I was drinking, I was doing all things outside of who I know I am as a person.
It's that moment of I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Literally that kind of.
When I say I was broken, and when I speak of failure, I don't mean like I fell to the ground.
Right.
I know our circumstances and our experiences, that draws us to a place of strength. I know that. So I've always been a person of strength, or believed in it at least, but I didn't know how to get back up. I didn't see nothing but darkness. So I didn't feel like I was even capable of getting back up, and nor did I have anybody to reach to, because I didn't know who I was becoming. I was angry, I was a lot of things. But that moment I felt what I was, and I didn't want to be that. So I started looking for help, and this is what I ended up with. This is what I ended up with. I'm like, this is it.
What you end up with now.
And one thing about it, like I was so, I'm not used to like people telling me what to do or how to run my life, and it allowed me to trust again. It allowed me to understand, be aware of what I was and what I want to be, what I see for myself, who I want to influence, my children. I'm so influencing their lives that I want to continue to be that. I want to continue to be that phone call that they look forward to and know that they got an answer. Know that somebody's there, even if it's just love, knowing that they care for no matter what. And I have to be an example of that.
Yeah.
And even though they didn't know, but I know what I was being. And it was no way in hell that I'll be able to move forward living that path where I was.
Mm-hmm. So in your thrust to get up and move again and get your life back, what has been your biggest struggle? And because we all have struggles, what has been the biggest struggle? Because you've come a long way. When I say you got all these, you doing all this stuff now. You because you said at one point, you had the millionaire status and then you lost that, and now you've gone past that and you've done even more. So, what has been the biggest struggle for you?
Monique, asking for help.
Hmm.
Asking for help. We are creatures are so afraid and so ashamed, to ask. I don't care what type of help it is, but we're so like afraid to ask for help. But we want created in this world to not ask, to not support one another, to not be there for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And, we get in that mindset that we can do it all by ourselves. I got this. And, however you want to take it. But we really don't. We really don't. Not if you're saying you're going to do it not if you're saying you're going to do it alone. You don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to have it.
That's so true.
And I'm a witness of that because I felt because I was doing it on my own. I felt that because I had a little bit more than, most people at my age, I felt that I don't need that, but it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't true at all.
Yeah.
Like you really have to, control your mind and have control of your mind. And you have to shift it, especially with that type of energy. Energy is so important. And people don't know, but just asking for help and not being afraid, trusting, as like little babies. I have this thing with kids, like they're so innocent until, they start growing, until they start seeing things is when it's like, but that's building their belief system.
Mm-hmm.
That's drawing fear in them. And then as we get older, we fearing this. We don't want to go jump off the cliff. But that baby would have jumped off the cliff. That baby would have stood up on the table. That baby would have swung on that swing. That baby would have jumped off that car. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah. No fear. Yeah. And when you said that, it made me think about when you said asking for help. It's like even again with babies have, or little ones, they have a tendency to say, I can do it by myself. They don't want no help because as they're learning and they're growing, when they're trying to learn to do something, they're like, no, I can do it by myself. And it's like that moment when they said I can do it by myself, it stays with them.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes that pattern. And I know you know about patterns and how you develop those belief systems and you continue to do those things. So as children, we begin to feel like we can do it by ourselves, but we're not supposed to do it by ourselves. The Bible tells us, do not forsake the assembling together of yourselves, because you're supposed to be in fellowship. You're supposed to be together. You're supposed to help one another, not try to struggle and do it all by yourself. And I'm guilty of that. I have been, because when you're so used to doing it by yourself, yes, you don't want to have to ask for help. You're like, I can do it. I can handle it, So to my listeners out there, I hope you are hearing the importance of being able to ask for help, because I think a lot of women struggle with that. And you as women of God, you do not have to struggle. Don't be afraid. Ask for help. So, Chamera, when it comes to your profession and what you're doing and how you're impacting and helping women, tell me how this profession has now changed you from where you were.
We're always changing. We're always changing. I think, like with me working with different individuals, everybody's different. We have our own DNA, and I think the beautiful part about that is that every person that I come in contact with, I'm learning. I'm in a place and I'm learning. And I know they're there because they need my help. They're in need of something. That's why we reach out, because they're in need. But most of all, I have to learn them as well, and the skills and the mindsets and, the balance. Because a lot of times I focus on purpose, because business is one thing. But if you don't have the balance in your personal life, that business is not going to be as successful as you want it to be. You're not going to be able to leverage that business like you want to, because, what you're putting, the measure of what you're putting within yourself, So I work on the personal, and then of course we magnify, of course, the business and the growth and so forth like that, which we bring it all together so that you can live your life. You can go travel anywhere around the world. You can, go to this events or whatever you want to do. Hang out. You can do that. But more so, I want to show people that with their passion, it's about having fun too. So by turning your passion to profits, that's a big thing that I master with, because I want to have fun. That's another thing. Like, I want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have fun doing what I
what's life without fun?
right. I wanna do what I want to do, and I want to do it when I want to do it. And
Yes.
I want to have fun doing it. So I love what I do. It's not a job. It's a duty. It's my gift, and it's only right to give that back to the world. So.
Most definitely. And you mentioned passion for profits. Talk a little bit about what that is.
Well, passion for profits, basically, as I said before, you're turning your passion, like you're living your dream. As a baby, again, we always have something that we love to do, something that we may look on TV like, I want to do that, but we don't pursue it, at times, because we don't think, either we're good enough or we don't know how to do it. We have all these things that keep us or hindering us from doing what's possible for us, but it's already built in us, and with passion for profits, well, I put it that way because I'm living my passion. And I mean, of course, I have to make money while I'm doing it. So, but I'm doing what I love to do. I'm doing what I've been doing my whole life, helping people, guiding people. And all I did was, and while I'm still doing, because it's never a stop, it's never, the education, none of that ever stops, because we have to have that. But what I'm doing is making sure that you get longevity results when you do work with me, when you are in my presence, because that's what's important to me. My thing is, me coming from where I've been, I don't want to turn back. I can look back, and I can say, I've been there. I've been there, but I can show you how to get out.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing. And I think that's the gift within me, and we all have our gifts.
We do, but I know a lot of people struggle with trying to figure out what that is, figuring out what their gifts, what their passion, and what their purpose is. I think that is the most difficult part for people. I think people miss it sometimes, or they're looking for that gift or that purpose or passion that they feel like needs to be on some type of platform, which is not necessarily true. They just have to figure out what that is. So, how do you go about helping people figure out what the passion is so that they can make the profits? Because we all are gifted. We all are gifted to do something. God has endowed us all with gifts. How do you go about helping individuals find that passion so that they can turn that passion into something great?
We first have to start with clarity, getting clarity. So we got to clear whatever it is that's in the way, so that, we can get clarity on that journey, on that purpose. And really, passion is purpose. You have to have a purpose. You have to have a why before you start anything. And I'm not just saying a business, but we all have to have a why for why we crank up that car every morning. We all have to have a why for waking up and putting our feet on the ground in the morning. We all have to have a why for what we're praying for more, even if it's just saying thank you. Saying thank you. I'm saying, and what I mean, that you have to have that gratitude, and you have to be in that place and that mindset to be able to, shift whatever it is, because there's going to be things that get in the way, because with fear always comes about when you're doing something different, something of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're experiencing that, and when that level is up in your life, that fear is just that challenge that you got to overcome that to see what's on the other side. But that same fear a lot keeps people from getting up and trying those things or experiencing those things that they really want to do, but they don't ever end up doing it.
Yeah, that's so true.
So with the passion and having passion, and with the profits, and that's just one thing. but we have to magnify our purpose and we have to get clear on it. And the only way we can do that, like I said, is to get clear. So the first thing first is to get the clarity. Get clarity on what you want. Get clarity on what you don't want. What you don't want. Because if we focus on what we want more than what we don't want, then who's winning then?
You need to say that one more time, because I think they need to get that. More time. Because I think that's a major struggle for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of times we're doing it backwards. We're focusing on what we don't want, but what we don't want, if we keep focusing on what we don't want, then we're going to get exactly what we don't want, because that's where our focus is. But when we focus on what we do want, then we can create that purpose of what we're living for.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And
so it's all about shifting the mindset. It's all about shifting the mindset towards, like I say, purposeful action, and just when I mention being bold enough to go over that fear, climb over that mountain, jump. People go to the casino and they gamble, right?
Yeah.
Why not gamble on yourself? Why not?
Yeah. People are afraid to do that.
I'm afraid to lose all my money at the casino.
Yeah, you and me both.
I'm gonna put it on me, because I know what's gonna happen with that next dime or penny that you understand what I'm saying?
You ain't getting that back.
And if I am putting it out there, it's on me. And I know exactly what happened to it. I know exactly what it's gonna go towards. We gotta know how to control ourselves. And it starts with, again, getting that clarity, shifting that mindset, and being able to shift that mindset, even on those bad days, because we're going to have bad days. We're human. We're human.
Wow. So in all of this, what is the one strategy, tip, or tool that you would give an individual who is seeking to definitely find that purpose, or basically just want to transform their life? Because I know you're a transformational coach, and that's that whole person kind of thing. What is the that one piece of advice that you would give them?
To no longer allow your circumstance to get in the way of you. And what I mean by that is just saying yes to yourself first. Saying yes to yourself first. I was talking to a client earlier today, and she was in a place where, when we first started, that she would just, anybody calls, she good, she there, but she kept putting herself on the back burner. Kept putting herself on the back burner. I asked her what's going on with the business, kept putting herself on the back burner. But bills and things still got to get paid. Life and everything in your life still goes on, but you keep putting stuff, and that draws procrastination, because you are affected. You are infected until you want to cure yourself, and that's saying yes to yourself first. Nobody can help anybody. I don't believe that I can help anybody if I'm not helped myself first. If I don't have that help, if you don't have that help, or she don't have that help, you can't walk in someone else and stand in somebody else and try to help somebody else. No.
Yeah. Forgetting about self is another thing that I think women struggle with. They're too busy, again, worrying about others, and they forget about themselves, and then they become, I hate to say selfless. You get less of self is basically what it leads to. And you end up not looking the part, or not being the part, or not being healthy, because you're so busy trying to tend to the needs of others, and then now you let yourself go. And that's a bad place to be in, when you let yourself go. So I think women need to really, really take the time to take care of self. Because I found myself in that place years ago. When I was, it was horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. Where I had lost myself because of my circumstances. So I totally understand what you're saying when you say you allow your circumstances to get in the way of what your purpose and what your destiny is. And if you're not mentally there, you're going to continue to struggle in that area. So you definitely have to get the mindset right. You really have to start thinking about what you do want so that you can start progressing towards that. Mm-hmm. So for you, and we're going to go to something else. We're going to be happy now. So tell me, what has been your greatest joy?
My greatest joy is making it out my breakthrough. That's my greatest joy. My greatest joy is being able to give other people joy. Show others that what they think is impossible is possible. Showing others that they're able to make a change if they just step up and believe in themselves. If they trust themselves. You gotta trust yourself. Mm-hmm. You got to. How you gonna trust anybody else? How the Lord gonna believe in your prayer? Yeah. You don't trust yourself. And I wasn't trusting myself. So how could I trust anybody else next to me? The most beautifulest thing I ever could have done is allow myself to trust again.
And that's hard. Oh my God. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because that's a hard place. Trust. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about how you had to get to that place, or what it took to get to that place?
Asking for help. We make life. Listen, we make life hard. We make life hard. Life don't have to be hard. We make life hard.
Yes.
I might have like a simple answer for you because it's just that. I'm not saying it was easy to do. I'm saying that's what you have to do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other part is taking action and being consistent with it, knowing that when those things do come up, knowing how to get rid of those distractions, knowing that go in the other direction. If you sense negative energy, you need to go. Knowing and picking and choosing your environments, the environments that's aligned with your purpose. But you can't get none of that if you don't have any clarity.
Right.
You can't even begin. And what I mean by saying yes to yourself, that's a place of putting forth action. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You're ready. Yeah. So in your field, what does it take for an individual who may be interested in going in your industry, being a transformational coach, health and life strategist? What does it take for someone who may be listening, and they may not be in that area of the struggle, but they're trying to become what you already are? How would an individual go about obtaining what they need to obtain to do what you do?
As you're saying,
as a coach.
Yeah. Get you some credentials. Get you some credentials. No, but that's a big part of it, your education. And I say that's so important because you have a lot of people saying, I'm a coach. They don't have nothing behind it, just saying that because they learned something or someone taught them something that they're doing. I don't want to mimic what somebody else doing. Mm-hmm. This is me all day. You walk up to me, this is me. I want to learn from myself because I'm going to always be myself. I'm authentic. That's me. It's in my shoe. I wear it in my shoes every day. But we read that book or even the Bible, whatever we're reading, we may look at that same sentence, that same note, that same scripture a different way.
Mm-hmm. And get something else.
You hear me?
Uh-huh.
So educate yourself. Read. Educate yourself and read and know exactly, the book that you pick up, if you want to work on being, let's say, a life coach or a regular trainer, whatever you want to be, a doctor, whatever you want to be. If you want to be a neurologist or whatever you want to be, read about it. Because that's where you want to work. That's where you want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in education is very important. You know, it's very important, and you're gonna always just basically just feeding your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to come out into this field, I do recommend, you know, you want to know what you're doing because you want to change. I mean, my thing is, like I say, longevity. Longevity. I want you to be able to, you know, even if a lot of my clients, honestly, I still have them. They're 3 years, 4 years now. I still have them. I still have them. I'm not complaining, but it's a reason why. It's a reason why, because I'm still showing up for them. I'm still giving back. It's still something that I'm learning. I'm constantly learning.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a decision I wanted to, you know, make for myself. But I want people to, when I say make it out of your breakthrough, like I say, you look back on your life, I experienced that.
Yeah.
And you can hold that person, you can console that person, say, it's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah. So
And I can help you.
yeah, and as you mentioned that struggle and that pain, what has been your biggest pain point when you talk about being in business? Because you've been in business for a while, and I think a lot of people tend to think that it's an overnight thing, and
Oh no.
I know. So, can you
Mm-mm.
elaborate on what your pain point has been in growing your business? Because a lot of people are unable to push through that, don't want to push through that, or think that you don't even need, or will that won't even happen. It's like, oh no, I'm just going to be this overnight, and no,
Mm.
no.
Oh, it's gonna show. It's gonna show you. It's gonna show you. You want, if this is something you want. Oh, it's gonna show you. It's just life. Period. Nothing comes easy. You're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to put in the work. We're gonna have our good and bad. It's people that, oh, I don't have the money right now. You not hurt my feelings. You not hurt my feelings. Oh, I wish I could. You not hurt my feelings. I wish you would too.
So, is the pain point trying to get clients, or was that a pain point?
The
Because
pain point was really just knowing that the pain point is consistency. Consistency. Because even though, you know, money comes and goes, and so it's never, you can't, if you center your business around money, you already just, you know, that's a disaster.
wow,
That's a setup for a disaster. I mean, we know we have to make money to survive, but are you, again, it goes back to your passion, go back to your purpose. What are you truly doing this for?
right,
Because if you have no passion behind it, then this is not the road for you. This is not where it's at. And I'm not speaking on just coaching. I'm speaking on just life decisions. Period. If you're not passionate about it, then it's not for you.
mm-hmm.
Go ahead and find something else.
Wow. You said a mouthful all in that one sentence when you said, don't center your business around the money. That's a mouthful in itself. Because I think a lot of people find themselves thinking, well, if I do this, I'm going to make all this money. And if you're not passionate about it,
Mm-mm.
I mean, you're setting yourself up literally for disaster. So to my listeners out there, I really hope you got that or caught that nugget about that consistency and not centering your business around money, because those are two key things that you need to know if
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you're thinking about doing. So, Chamera, tell my listeners, tell us about your book, because you are a best-selling author too.
My book is I have another one coming out, but let's just talk about this one. My book is, I would say, the intro to my life, an intro to who I am, intro to my own breakthrough, the obstacles, where I come from, the passing of my brother, what I went through far as grieving as a young adult in the world, losing, you know, my brother. I 11 years old, but you know, I'm 20 years old, so that's like your child. You know, he's everywhere with me. So the phone calls, I was devastated. I stayed in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to see anybody. And then, when I see my mom, all I want to do is make her smile. I'm a comedian. I love to laugh. But it's hard still. It was hard still in her smiles. See, I can be honest with you, she just started smiling probably 2 years ago.
Wow.
He's been going 11 March this year. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time to not know what's going on with you.
Yeah.
It's a long time of being unhappy. It's a long time of not want to, be around people or individuals or because you're hurting and don't even know how to fulfill that, how to deal with it, how to move forward. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was a long time for me. It's a long time for her. So yeah.
Wow. So how can my listeners get in touch with you if they wanted to reach out to you, get some coaching, speaking engagements, because I know you do all of that. So if they wanted to reach out to you or even get your book, how can my listeners get in contact with you or get a copy of your book?
Chamera Bowman. Put .com on it, but yeah. Chamera Bowman. I made it real simple for you because I want it simple.
Yeah.
ChameraBowman.com.
All right.
I guess they can add the www, right? We need that too, huh?
Yeah.
But that's it. That is it.
All right.
Chamera Bowman, everything. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, mainly website, Chamera Bowman.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so much social media. I can't keep up. It's just too much going on. But
That's a part. Hey, that's a part. That's a part of that business. Your name.
Yeah.
I want you to wear my name out.
Wow.
I don't want you to call me nothing else. Chamera Bowman.
Chamera Bowman. Right.
That's it.
All right. Well, Chamera, thank you so much for being on the show today. You've given my listeners some true nuggets. So I pray that they wrote those nuggets down because I'm a writer myself. I have to write stuff down, and you've given them some inspiring and some motivating information this evening. So thank you so much for being on the show. To my listeners again out there, I do hope that you got some good nuggets. Reach out to Chamera. She will gladly help you in any area of your life. She's dealing with the whole person, transformational, health and life strategies. She's doing all of those things. So reach out to her. She's absolutely amazing, and I encourage you to reach out to her. So thanks again for tuning in to Monique, my episode of Life Strategies with Monique. I'm your host, Monique Petaway. Again, until next time, stay educated and empowered.
That's right.
You've been listening to Life Strategies with Monique. Contact Monique Petaway at www.moniquepetaway.com or info@moniquepetaway.com.